Hello and welcome to the new look 1stDrive for 2025. So as you'll tell from looking around the screen, things are quite different. In this video I'm going to go for a short drive and explain what these things are all about, and I'm going to give you some details of more exciting changes coming soon on this channel. So let's start off with a quick tour of the screen. If you look at the bottom right of the screen, you'll notice that there is now a speedo, which is something people have asked me for many years. I used to have one in my older videos that was displayed in the windscreen, but now I've got that one which looks better. And all of these things can be adjusted, so the font, the size, shadows, designs, I can move them around. So this is just my first trial run with them. And I want to know if they're too obtrusive, do they get in the way? Or intrusive, whatever it is. Are they annoying? Are they helpful? Let me know. So I might not put these in all my videos because it adds a lot of extra work and you might not need them in all the videos, but they are a good option to have. So if you look on the top left of the screen, you'll see a map which shows my current location, which I thought was just a nice touch, so you can see where I am and you can follow the route that I'm doing. There will be a purple line on the GPS map probably, which shows you the path I'm taking, but again that can turn on and off along with the street names. I can have 3D buildings turned on or off, satellite imagery, so it actually looks like it would, like you're driving along for real. There are many options to go through, but this is just the first look. The most interesting one for me is on the left side of the screen. There is a bar. I don't know why I find this one so interesting, but I do. And that is the distance of my journey. So I'm going to get driving soon, and we're going to be doing a few miles today. So we'll probably say 3 or 4 miles at the top of that bar. And as I drive, it fills the bar in to show you how close I am to the end of the journey. And I thought that might be helpful on driving test or in driving test videos to show how long's left. And talking of how long's left, there is now a clock at the bottom left of the screen. I've had that for a while, but not on these cameras. And there is also now you can see the date, and it says the day of the week. So it's just, nice little extras. I am aware that the GPS may be a little bit off because again, this is all quite new and I'm just getting it set up, and it's not perfect, but you get the idea that, if I am driving off the road on the pavement at any point on the sat nav, on the GPS thing, I'm not. It's just, sometimes the signal goes a bit off. So let's get driving, and I'm not going to go anywhere in particular, but let's go for a drive, and you'll see now the map is moving and the speedo will be showing my speed. I'd like to point out that speedo is not linked to the car's speedo. So when I get to the end of this road, if I slow right down and even stop, I'll stop deliberately, or I'll go very slow and I'll stop dead and hand back on to show I've stopped dead. And it may still say 1 or 2 miles an hour for a while. That's just how it is. But I'm getting it as good as I can. So yeah, let me know what you think of this in the comments. So what are the changes have I made? Well, you may know that probably the biggest change is my voice. So if you don't know, I've recently had surgery on my vocal cords, and that was important to me. It's not finished yet. I'm still, I'm going through speech therapy and I'm doing things to get my voice better. Eventually I want to sound like Shao Kahn or Megatron. That's what I'm going for. So follow my progress with that on this channel and see how that goes. So yeah, that's quite a big thing. I don't think many people will go through surgery to improve their videos, but that's the kind of crazy thing I do. Of course, it's not just for my videos, it's for my life in general, but it's this junction. And that brings me on to the next point, is that I do know over the last few years my channel has got very serious, because it used to be quite funny. I used to do a lot of funny videos and there was a lot of humour, and I do feel I've kind of lost some of that the last few years, because I've been focusing on my therapy work. Just in case you haven't seen my videos before, I'm a driving instructor and a hypnotherapist, and it's got quite heavy in the last few years with therapy work, but now I've made over 350 therapy videos, and I think it's over 400 driving lesson videos. Just been careful there because that car was being a bit close. So yeah, I am going to work on making my videos more fun, more humorous, and I'm still doing therapy, but I would like to get back into doing some more driving ones, as in maybe tests or lessons or whatever. Please do let me know what you'd like to see in the comments, because it's nice to get feedback and learn what people really want. Again, the speedo now might be showing I'm going faster than I am. It's hard to get the speedo up there to go to that wire. Now, the reason that wire fell down, that's a wire that I use for my other camera. That's for my day-to-day camera. And that was because I moved off fairly quickly because I roundabout. That's actually where I made a video years ago about how to move off quickly. That's made me think of the G-force sensor, because I have got in this camera and on the sensor I'm recording the data with a G-force thing, so you can actually have an acceleration and brake diagram on the screen, so it shows how hard I'm accelerating and braking. But it doesn't work that well because it's not linked to the car. You can get one that actually plugs in and shows data from the car, which I might get, but this one kind of guesses based on the accelerometer, I think it is, in the cameras, and the GPS and all that. So it kind of guesses, but it's not perfect. The other things I can do now, some of them are quite funny, and I'll talk more about the other changes soon, but there are lots of things I can do with this camera, with this system. The cameras are the same, by the way. It's the same ones I got about 18 months ago. So these are my fairly new 4K cameras, which are really good. You can even have things like people's heart rates shown on the screen. So maybe when I'm teaching someone to drive, or when I'm with someone who has anxiety, not that I really spend much time in the car with clients because that's all done online, but I could have a client in the car with a heart rate monitor showing, the anxiety level, the anxiety meter. That could be quite interesting. You can show things like tyre pressures on the screen, blood pressure, how many times you're breathing per minute. There are probably thousands, or at least dozens or hundreds of these things you can put on the screen, but I don't want to flood the screen and have it looking too messy. Another thing I like to move on to now is, this is a lot of extra work for my PC. It's quite easy to actually do. So I'm just filling with the windows, it's getting hot and cold today. Put the cool blower on. My PC is 7 years old, and it was about 6 or 12 months kind of out of date when I bought it. So I am going to be upgrading my PC soon to one that will just laugh at 4K video, because the one I've got now does it. But if I tell you what I've got now, for those of you, is he going to move off? Yeah, just looking at him. For those into PCs, I've currently got a Ryzen 1700X processor with 8 gig of DDR3 RAM. I think it's at 32 megahertz, 3200 megahertz, I think, and a 2 gigabyte graphics card. So my PC, if you don't know what that means, it's quite old and it struggles like mad with 4K video. And I've made about probably 200 multi-camera 4K videos with it. This one alone will probably take it. I did another version of this morning, but it didn't come out too well because it was raining and it was a bit miserable, so I did it again. But that took 5 hours for my PC to render, and that was only 10 minutes long. So, yep, I'm upgrading the PC. I'm also upgrading my internet, because I've had an offer which is quite crazy. I can pay £23 a month less for triple the speed up and down, so I can send things to the internet quicker. And if you think, well, why do I care about this? Well, because the easier it is for me to make, there's concrete bollards there now. The easier it is for me to make videos, the more videos I can make. And I would like to get back, like I said, to making more videos about driving, but what puts me off at the moment is when I film videos, yes, I could just do them in HD, 1080, grainy 1080 HD, which still looks brilliant. But let's see how good the satellite does here. I've come this way to test this because I'm going into trees and the signal might be lost. It might look like I'm driving through fields. But yeah, it's really annoying when you put the video into your PC and it's so slow and it chugs along and it's really hard and you get that annoying blue circle, program not responding, wait till close, then it freezes for like 2 minutes, then it comes back, then I click render, time remaining 4 hours, and then it takes an hour to get the video on YouTube. It's just so slow. Hopefully with my new cameras you'll still be seeing me now because it's quite dark under here, that's why I'm coming this way. And let's see how well the speedo works. I'm going to make sure no one's around, no one's behind, if no one's ahead. I'll see how the accelerator picks up in a moment, so I'll wait till I get around this bend. And I'll accelerate quite hard, 60 mile an hour speed limit for me on this road in this car. Let's see how the speedo works. Let's see. Does it work well? I don't know why it's going to get. Then I'll brake. Just testing the speedo, there's no one around. That wire, it doesn't normally fall down, but annoyingly whenever I film it falls down. But that's not my G-force sensor. So yeah, that should have gone quite fast on the speedo. And you can do that with different speedos. I've got ones where you can have like a needle that goes up and down like this, and it looks really good, but I think it's a bit too much in the way. The one I've got now is quite a simple version of the speedo. So there's the speedo, there's my voice, there's my computer, there's the internet. I've also got a few surprises coming, which I'm not going to mention, but for those of you that want help with your driving anxiety, but you can't afford therapy, well, I might have some good news for you coming soon. I've got an exciting project going on, but it's not going to be for a while, won't be till probably the end of the year, I don't know. And yeah, I think that's about all I need to say on this. So what I'll do is I'm going to go home and edit this video, which will take another 4 or 5 hours. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Please do let me know, do you like the graphics? Are there too many? Which ones would you like to see that are not on there now? Now I can't do one for the clutch, unfortunately, because I know people will probably say, it doesn't normally come off and it just keeps coming off. People normally say the clutch will be good. I can show you the gas and the brake, but not the clutch because it doesn't record the clutch data. So that's a bit annoying, but as is that window that keeps doing that. That window, many years ago, I was in a lesson, and a piece of like a twig or a branch fell off a tree and hit the window, and some of it got stuck. And I think it's still in there, because whenever I go to open that window, sometimes it opens and then it just gets stuck down a bit. But never mind, it goes back up fine, but I think there's something stuck in the door, because it's made so if it senses something trapped, it thinks it's your fingers and it opens the window. But anyway, that's what that window could be a bit temperamental, not that you'll even see that in the video. But yeah, I can't show you the clutch data is not collected, and I don't want to have all this on the screen plus pedal cam, because that would be far too much. And I know a lot of people do watch on their phones, so I don't want to kind of clutter the screen too much. And I won't be using this in every video. This is mainly for probably like special videos. So if I'm going out to make a video that I want to be extra good, or I want to show you data in like a driving test or something like that, that's when I should use all of this telemetry on the screen. So check out these other videos of mine on the screen now. Please do let me know your thoughts. And as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.